Can I ask you something? Have you ever wanted to tell someone about your future, your dreams, your goals, the life you hope to build one day, but when you tried to speak English, your mind suddenly went blank? Not because you don't have dreams, not because you aren't smart, but because the words disappear, and then you stay silent. Maybe you've experienced this. Someone asks, "What do you want to do in the future?" And inside your heart, you have 1,000 answers, but your mouth says, "I don't know," or maybe, "I want good job." And then you feel embarrassed. You know what you want to say, but you cannot express it. If this has happened to you, you are not alone.
Wow. That feels very personal. Because honestly, that happened to me last week.
Really?
Yeah. Someone asked me about my future plans. Such a simple question. But I started overthinking. I wanted to sound smart. I wanted perfect grammar. I wanted perfect English. And because of that, I couldn't say anything naturally.
And that's exactly why we're having this conversation today. Because most people think they have an English problem, but sometimes they actually have a confidence problem. And today, we're going to talk about something very important, your future dreams, in simple English, without pressure, without perfection, just real conversation. So wherever you are right now, walking, studying, working, or lying in bed late at night, take a deep breath. This conversation is for you, and maybe by the end of this episode, you'll finally feel ready to talk about your future in English.
Can I tell you something honestly?
Always.
A few years ago, I stopped talking about my dreams.
Why?
Because every time I tried, I felt stupid. My friends could speak English better. They could explain their goals clearly. They sounded confident. And then there was me. I had dreams too, big dreams, but my English was weak. So I started staying quiet.
That's heartbreaking, because your dreams didn't disappear, only your confidence did.
Exactly. I remember sitting in a classroom. The teacher asked, "What do you want to become in the future?" One student said, "I want to be a software engineer and work for an international company." Another said, "I want to travel around the world." Everyone sounded amazing. Then it was my turn. My heart started beating fast, and I said, "I want good future." That's it, just 3 words. The whole class became quiet. I felt so embarrassed.
And what happened after that?
Nothing. Nobody laughed. Nobody said anything. But inside my head, I laughed at myself for weeks.
Isn't that interesting? Sometimes the cruelest person in the room isn't another person. It's our own inner voice.
Wow, that's true.
And maybe someone listening right now understands this feeling. You compare yourself. You think, my English is terrible, my pronunciation is bad, my grammar isn't perfect, and slowly you stop speaking. But here's something most learners don't realize. The goal is not perfect English. The goal is connection. The goal is communication. The goal is sharing your thoughts with another human being. Okay, Omar, let's make this simple. Imagine I ask, what is your dream for the future? What can you say?
Honestly, I don't know where to start.
That's normal. Let's start small. You don't need a long speech. You only need one sentence. For example, my dream is to start my own business. Or, my dream is to travel to different countries. Or, my dream is to help my family. Simple, clear, human.
Wait, that's much easier than I expected.
Exactly. Many learners think they need complicated English, but simple English can be powerful. For example, I want a peaceful life. I want to learn new skills. I want to speak English confidently. I want to make my parents proud. Look how simple those sentences are, yet they carry deep meaning.
Actually, I want to make my parents proud. That one hits hard.
I know, because many people listening feel exactly the same way. And if that's you, write yes in the comments. I think many learners will relate.
Can I ask something?
Of course.
What if my dream feels impossible? What if people think it's unrealistic?
That's a beautiful question, because many dreams sound impossible at first. Think about it. Every successful person once had a dream nobody could see, only they could see it. The future always begins as imagination, and that's why talking about your dreams matters. When you speak them out loud, they become more real.
I've never thought about it that way.
And here's something important. You don't need certainty. You don't need to know exactly what will happen. You can simply say, I hope to, I would like to, I want to. Those phrases are enough. For example, I hope to become a teacher. I would like to live abroad. I want to improve my English. Beautiful, simple, natural.
Okay, can I confess something embarrassing?
Please do.
One time, someone asked me, "What are your future plans?" And I accidentally said, "My future is planning me."
What?
I was nervous. I forgot everything.
Honestly, that's actually funny. But do you know what? Moments like that are part of learning. Every English learner has stories like this. Every single one. The problem is, people only show their success. They don't show their mistakes. So you think you're the only one struggling. But you're not. Not even close. Okay, everyone, this is your moment. Don't just listen, speak with us. Ready? Repeat after me. My dream is to learn English confidently. Very good. Again, my dream is to learn English confidently. Excellent. Now this one. I want to build a better future. Again, I want to build a better future. Beautiful. Now say, I believe in myself. One more time. I believe in myself. Did you notice something? Those aren't just English sentences. They are confidence sentences. Sometimes language learning is emotional healing too, and many people never realize that. Can I tell you a story?
Please.
A student once told me, Aisha, I don't think I'm improving. She felt frustrated. She compared herself to everyone else. She thought she was failing. Then I asked her, can you talk about your dreams in English today? She said yes. I asked, could you do that 6 months ago? She became silent. Then she smiled, because 6 months ago she couldn't even introduce herself confidently. But she forgot how far she had come. And maybe someone listening right now needs this reminder too. You are measuring the distance ahead, but you're forgetting the distance you've already traveled. And that matters a lot, because progress is often invisible while it's happening.
Aisha, can I tell you what I think my biggest mistake was?
Of course.
I always thought I needed perfect English before talking about my dreams.
That's one of the biggest mistakes learners make. And honestly, it's a very painful one, because it keeps people silent for years.
Years?
Yes, think about it. Some people wait until their English is perfect. Then they wait until their pronunciation is perfect. Then they wait until their confidence is perfect. And while they're waiting, life keeps moving. Their dreams stay trapped inside them.
Wow, that's true.
Let me tell everyone something important. You do not need perfect English to talk about your future. You only need courage. Even simple sentences can express beautiful dreams. For example, I want to help my family. I want to travel. I want to improve my life. I want to become confident. Look at those sentences. Simple, but powerful.
Honestly, sometimes I hear very advanced English speakers. Then I compare myself, and suddenly I feel discouraged.
Can I tell you something honestly? Comparison is one of the fastest ways to destroy confidence. There will always be someone better. There will always be someone faster. But there is only one person you should compare yourself to, the person you were yesterday. That's it. If today's English is slightly better than yesterday's English, you're winning.
Can I ask something personal?
Sure.
Why do some dreams feel difficult to talk about?
Because they're important. The dreams closest to our hearts often feel the most vulnerable. Sometimes we're afraid people will laugh. Sometimes we're afraid we'll fail. Sometimes we're afraid our dream won't happen, so we hide it.
That makes sense. I remember when I wanted to start my own business, I didn't tell anyone.
Why not?
Because I was scared. What if it failed? What if people judged me? What if I looked foolish?
And do you know something? Many listeners are probably nodding right now because they have a dream too. Maybe they want to move abroad. Maybe they want to become fluent in English. Maybe they want a better job. Maybe they want financial freedom. Maybe they simply want peace. But they rarely talk about it because fear makes us quiet.
That's exactly how it feels.
But here's what I've learned. Dreams grow when they're spoken. Not because speaking magically makes them happen, but because speaking makes them real. The moment you say, I want this, you stop hiding from yourself. And that's powerful. Okay, everyone, it's your turn again. Don't just listen, speak. Even if you're alone, even if your pronunciation isn't perfect. Ready? Repeat after me. My dream is to live a happy life. Again, my dream is to live a happy life. Excellent. Now this one. I hope to achieve my goals. Very good. Again, I hope to achieve my goals. Now say, I am working toward my future. Beautiful. One more time. I am working toward my future. Now let's create your own sentence. Start with, my dream is, and finish it yourself. Go ahead, speak out loud. Don't think too much, just speak. That was amazing, because every sentence you speak is progress, even if it's imperfect, especially if it's imperfect. Can I share another story?
Please, your stories always make me think.
A few years ago, I met a young man. He was shy, quiet, always sitting at the back of the room. Whenever we practiced English conversation, he avoided eye contact. One day, I asked him, "What is your dream?" He looked down. For almost 30 seconds, he said nothing. Then he whispered, "I want to become a pilot."
Wow.
But then he immediately laughed, not because it was funny, because he felt embarrassed, as if his dream was too big, as if he wasn't allowed to dream that way. And I'll never forget what happened next. I asked him, "Why are you laughing?" He said, "People like me don't become pilots."
That's heartbreaking.
It really was. And do you know what I learned that day? Sometimes the biggest obstacle isn't English. Sometimes it isn't money. Sometimes it isn't opportunity. Sometimes it's belief. Sometimes people stop themselves before life ever gets the chance.
What happened to him?
Years later, he sent me a message. He wasn't a pilot yet, but he was taking aviation classes, working hard, moving forward, step by step. And that message reminded me of something. Success isn't always reaching the dream immediately. Sometimes success is refusing to give up on it.
Wait, can we talk about something?
Sure.
Why do I freeze when talking about my future? I know my dreams, but when English enters the conversation, everything disappears.
That's a great question, and many learners experience this. The reason isn't always vocabulary. The reason is pressure. You want to sound intelligent. You want to sound impressive. You want people to admire your English, and that pressure creates fear.
So what's the solution?
Talk simply. Talk honestly. Talk like a human being, not like a textbook. For example, instead of trying to sound advanced, just say, I want a better future. I hope to improve myself. I want to help my parents. Simple words, real emotions, real communication. And surprisingly, people connect more with honesty than perfection. Can we pause for a second?
Sure.
I want everyone listening right now to think about something. Not English, not grammar, not pronunciation, just your future. Close your eyes if it's safe and ask yourself, what do I truly want? Not what other people want, not what society wants, not what your friends want. What do you want? Maybe the answer is success. Maybe it's freedom. Maybe it's peace. Maybe it's helping your family. Maybe it's becoming fluent in English. Whatever it is, don't be ashamed of it. Your dream matters. And if nobody has told you that recently, let me tell you now, your dream matters.
Can we practice confidence too?
Absolutely. Everyone listening, repeat these sentences slowly. I am improving every day. Again, I am improving every day. Now say, my English does not need to be perfect. One more time. My English does not need to be perfect. Excellent. Now the most important one. I can talk about my dreams. Again, I can talk about my dreams. Very good, because confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build, one sentence at a time.
Aisha, can I tell you what I've realized today?
What?
I always thought speaking English was about language, but now I think it's also about courage.
Exactly, and that's what many people miss. English is not just words, it's expression, it's connection, it's confidence, it's being able to share your thoughts with the world. When you learn English, you're not only learning a language, you're learning how to tell your story. You're learning how to share your dreams. You're learning how to introduce yourself to people you've never met, and that's beautiful.
I've never looked at it that way before.
Most people don't. They focus on mistakes, but real growth happens when you focus on communication. Remember this, you don't need perfect English to start. You start and then you improve, not the other way around. Before we finish, I want to talk directly to one person. Maybe it's you, the person who feels stuck, the person who thinks, my English is too bad. I learn but forget. Everyone is ahead of me. I'll never be fluent. Can I tell you something? The fact that you're listening right now means you haven't given up, and that matters. Because progress belongs to people who continue, not people who are perfect, not people who learn the fastest, people who continue. One day, one sentence, one conversation, one small step at a time. And one day, you'll look back and realize the person who almost quit became the person who inspired others.
You know, I feel lighter after this conversation.
Why?
Because I don't feel alone anymore. I thought everyone else was confident. I thought everyone else knew exactly what they were doing. But now I realize many people are learning. Many people are struggling. Many people are growing, just like me.
Exactly. And if you're listening right now, remember this. You do not need to have everything figured out. You do not need perfect English. You do not need perfect confidence. You just need to keep moving, keep speaking, keep learning, keep dreaming. Because your future is not built in one day. It's built one small step at a time. And today, by listening, by practicing, by speaking, you took another step forward. Be proud of that. Really, be proud of that. Thank you for spending these moments with us. If this conversation touched your heart or helped you feel a little less alone, let us know in the comments and tell us, what is your biggest dream for the future? We would genuinely love to read it.
And if you're still learning English, don't worry. We're learning together. one conversation at a time.
If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and join our growing family of English learners around the world. There is a place for you here. No judgment, no pressure, just progress.
Take care of yourself. Keep believing in your dreams.
And remember, your English journey is not a race. Your dream is valid, your voice matters, and you're much closer than you think. We'll see you in the next conversation. Goodbye, my friend.